The letters of Cris Watts. Cherlyn Cadle didn't know what to accept when she received a letter from Cris Watts. The author spoke out in Lifetime's new docu-series titled Cellmate Secrets, which explores famous true crime cases from the perspective of former friends, prison guards, cellmates, and lovers. Narrated by Angie Harmon, Friday's episode focuses on the Watts family murders, which took place in 2018. The show features new interviews with Cadle, who went on to become Watts' prison pen pal, along with cellmate Dylan Tillman and others associated with the case. When I saw the first interview, I don't know, I looked at him that morning and I just felt something really spoke to me, the married grandmother of 12 told Fox News. It was like a calling for me to contact him and see if he would share his story with me. I knew he was guilty. You could tell by the way he was talking, the body language. But it was just one of those things where I really felt like I was supposed to do it. The suburban Denver crime began with the disappearance of pregnant Shannon Watts and the couple's 2 children, Bella 4 and Celeste 3. Despite her husband making televised pleas for their safe return, he was arrested within days. In exchange for pleading guilty, prosecutors agreed not to pursue the death penalty. Watts, now 36 years old, didn't provide a full account at the time on the killings or his motives. Cadle said that Watts replied to her 3rd letter at the beginning of 2019. He was receptive from the very beginning, she recalled. He said that God told him to respond. I think because I was a mother and grandmother, he didn't feel any kind of threat. He was already getting a lot of fan mail from women who were sending him pictures of themselves in bikinis and saying they loved him. I told him I simply wanted to talk to him. He also wanted to take the opportunity to clear Shannon's name, because people were still blaming her for killing the girls, Cadle continued. He said he felt bad about that. He also felt hurt for being called a monster. He wrote, "I have a really hard time hearing that about myself, because I'm really not a monster." He also knew that I practiced a Christian religion. I told him I'm not his judge. Watts previously told police he killed his wife after she strangled their daughters. He then acknowledged in an interview that was a lie and he was solely responsible for the killings. Watts said detectives were the first to mention that Shannon may have killed their children and he just went with it. According to Watts, after he told Shannon their marriage was over, she said he would then never see their children again. His wife correctly suspected that he was having an affair, but Watts did not tell her about his ongoing relationship with a co-worker named Nicole Kassinger before strangling her in their bed. Authorities speculated that Watts wanted a fresh start with his mistress. He told investigators that the woman never asked him to get rid of his family, but their relationship may have contributed to his actions. Cadle said that after exchanging several lengthy letters and speaking to him on the phone several times a week, it didn't take long for her to meet him in prison. Cadle was stunned by what she witnessed. "I hate to even admit this because he is a murderer and what he did is so horrendous, but when I first met him, he had this boyish demeanor, she said. He was gentle, soft-spoken, and just appeared as a nice guy. And he remained that way throughout our communications. That changed when he started talking about the murders. Watts told investigators that after he strangled Shanann, Bella came into the bedroom clutching a blanket. When she asked what was wrong with her mother, Watts replied Shanann wasn't feeling well. Their daughter continued watching as Watts wrapped the body in a bedsheet and began crying when he pulled it down the stairs of the home. Watts put Shanann's body on the floor of his truck's backseat. When he went back inside the home, Celeste was also awake. Watts said he put the girls into the backseat of the truck, where they occasionally napped on each other's laps as he drove. Each child had a blanket and Celeste brought a stuffed animal. While Watts claimed he had no plan for his daughters, he drove to an oil work site where he worked as an operator for an oil and gas producer. He told police he pulled Shannon's body from the truck as the girls asked, "What are you doing to Mommy?" Watts then went back to the truck and used Celeste's blanket to smother her as Bella watched beside her sister. Watts then put Celeste's body inside an oil tank before returning to the truck and smothering Bella using the same blanket. He told police that the child's last words were "Daddy, no," as she struggled under the blanket. He then put her body inside another oil tank and buried Shannon's body nearby. Cadle said Watts told her she would be receiving a very important letter, one that was about 12 pages, and its contents horrified her. "I just broke down and started bawling," she admitted. "I cried and cried. I just couldn't believe what he did to those girls. It was a real shock to read his letter. I knew in my heart right then and there that this was the real and true confession. He said it was planned right away, and he wanted to clear the slate. He wanted to start over. He didn't want to bring any baggage into the new relationship, and there was a good-sized insurance policy. It changed everything for me." Christopher did not snap, she continued. He planned the murders. His affair had such a hold on him. He was so obsessed with her. She never asked him to kill his family. I do want to make that clear. I believe there was something already inside of him. He told me he would daydream about killing Shannon. She would be yelling at him or be upset about something, and he wouldn't fight back, but he would just stand there and just daydream about what it would be like to kill her. And at one point, Cadle claimed Watts made the unthinkable request during one of the phone calls. "My family and I were at Pizza Place," she said. "When he called, I stepped outside to talk to him, and he was telling me how he believed that someday he would be out of prison. He knew I had a granddaughter the same age as Cece. He then said, 'If I was out of prison, would you allow me to watch your granddaughter?' I couldn't believe what he had just told me. I said, 'Christopher, you really have to be kidding me. There is no way you would ever be with my granddaughter.' And she said, 'People will realize that I will never do anything like this again.' I was just blown away by that question." After publishing 2 books based on the letters, Cadle doesn't believe she will hear from Watts again. "I think he realized he couldn't control the narrative," she said. Watts insisted to investigators he didn't plan to kill his wife or children. He told them that pleaded guilty to avoid a lengthy trial playing out before family and didn't feel pressured by his attorneys to make an agreement with prosecutors. He told them that he pleaded guilty to avoid a lengthy trial playing out before family and didn't feel pressured by his attorneys to make an agreement with prosecutors. According to Watts, he read the Bible for the first time in prison, and he writes down scriptures daily for his parents. He also keeps photos of his wife and daughters in his cell and talks to them every morning and every night. As for Cadle, she said the letters still haunt her. "There is no doubt in my mind he is guilty," she said, "and he didn't have help from anyone. It was just him. He did this, and he did it alone. No one wants to think that a nice guy who could be your husband would do such horrific things." But this was brewing inside of him. Credits go to Fox News and Cellmate Secrets Cris Watts. The following are excerpts from Cris' letters. "I can remember Shannon's mascara running. She cried a lot during the fight. When I strangled her, she didn't fight because she couldn't. Her eyes filled with blood, and I knew she was gone when she peed on herself." Bella and Celeste were confused. "I don't know why they woke up. I was sure they were dead. I murdered her." Celeste had, I think, brain damage. She was barely responsive. "I just threw Shannon in the hole. She fell on her face. I didn't care. I was just mad at her. I saw that she had half a birth from Nico, but I didn't care. I was possessed by demons. A dark force came over me. The moment it was all over, I was happy because I could start over with Nicole. I didn't feel any regrets. No.